Hey guys, what's up? It's Zoe, and yeah, it's interesting having Chloe back.
Yeah. Back again.
She's back in town. I'm no longer alone. It's great. Ugh.
Yes. Hopefully the episodes where we just do them solo are fewer in between.
Yes.
So we shall see how this goes.
I was literally gonna say far and few between, and I was like, she'll say
There we go.
That's creepy. I don't like that you're in my brain.
You know what? You said it better though. You worded it better.
But you said what I was gonna say.
You know, that's just how we are.
We do be on the same wavelength lately.
We really do. Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, we're back together.
Mm-hmm. And this episode is gonna be super nice.
It's gonna be solid, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is episode 9 of Swear We Aren't Lying, and we're really happy to be back.
Yeah, so we hope that you guys just enjoy this and you enjoy our voices together again.
A lot of, bouncing off one another.
Yes, it really helps.
It does.
So, tonight, Zoe and I are actually attending a college group, which is very different for us because we've never been on the opposite side of the spectrum before. We've always hosted the college groups. Zoe being the hostess, and I'm just like the co-host, kind of. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be very interesting, and we would like to talk about it before we actually go.
Yeah, this is called Zoe Needs to Verbally Process, and so does Chloe. Mostly me. I am a verbal processor like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I feel like you do a mix of both. Or are you just like an internal processor?
I feel like I'm very much an ambivert, so there's certain times where I have to rant, but I mostly just kind of...
You leave it up and you keep it in your brain.
I kind of just store it up there, and then I just let it go when I need to.
You occasionally,
yeah.
You sprinkle that there, sprinkle that there.
Yeah.
I dump the entire bottle, where you're like... little bit, just a little bit. I'm like,
because I'm always like thinking about the other person too. Like, are they gonna actually handle my emotional distraughtness right now?
So, I always can handle. I love when people dump on me. It's my favorite.
See, that's why I always dump on Zoe, and then I feel really bad because I'm like, she's the only friend I really do this to.
I love being dumped on. I don't know. I feel like it's like you feel like people trust you, and I'm like, you just told me all your crap. I feel so loved. Wow.
It's you and then like my one core 4 and then that's just like about it. But yeah.
But no, I like Chloe said, I hosted our college groups regularly. Mm-hmm. My dad would help on occasion and he would come and speak every once in a while. But it was a lot of just kind of like hanging out and creating a really fun, safe place for people to come to, which I think was super important because you were even talking about this before we recorded, which determined our topic of the day.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that this college group is happening tonight. No. Zoe was telling me like, oh my gosh, okay, so we only have this much time during the day to actually record because I have to go. Group. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even know that this was happening. And of course, she inevitably like invited me.
Yes.
I already knew I was invited before she invited me.
It's true statement.
And I was like, well, I have nothing else I'm doing. And so, yeah I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm also going to a college group.
Yes, you are. And it's because like even like I went last week and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep going. Like I just need to suss it out. My dad's like, if Chloe's in town, take Chloe. I was like, even my dad knows how much I need an emotional support person.
I love your dad for that.
I was like, I need an emotional support person so that I feel like I can be my authentic self. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. Like I was even telling the new host of this like college group how I used to host it with Chloe is that you have to suss out who your people are. Not like suss them out. It sounds like they're not their people. Mm-hmm. More so like know your people, know your, I guess, audience.
You kind of have to just navigate like the crowd that you just drew in, because like it's not like you're gonna get the same brand of people.
No, you're not getting all born and raised Christians.
No, it's a mixed bag, that's how it should be. Yeah. Like that's what you want.
No, and with that, you don't want to like assume everyone's read the Bible, even knows what the Bible is. Like you don't want to go into that being like kind of an ass assuming things about people. Mm-hmm. You want to know, okay, what am I doing here? I need to gauge the audience. Okay, what can I do with what I have? And what is going to best benefit all of these people? And depending on the group varies night to night.
Yes.
It's just, okay, you all seem like you've had a really weird day. All right, maybe we won't do this, that, and the other. We're going to do this instead. Or maybe we're already having a really deep conversation about growing up. And we're just going to continue just talking about life together and being supportive of one another and what each person's going through. We might not even dive into like a passage in the Bible. It's going to be just like deep conversations just so people feel heard and seen.
Right. No, absolutely. Because like the whole point of the college group is that you want these people to keep coming back. And it's like, if it's just the same thing that you're delivering every single like Friday night or whatever, every single week, then it's like, why am I even showing up to this still?
Exactly.
Like, this is just rinse and repeat. And it's not like a performance. It shouldn't have to feel like a performance. This is supposed to be like a time to hang out, a time to just kind of like let go of your worries, let your hair down, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with a bunch of like college age students, and we're broke, we're tired,
amen.
We're so exhausted.
We are.
Yeah, and we barely wanted to get in our car to even like come over to someone else's house. Like, we'd rather be in the comfort of our own like
bed.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that anyone wants to like leave their house and actually make it to an event that we're hosting
is already a big deal.
Right, that's already a big deal. And so it's like you want to be that comfort zone for them, you know?
Yeah. I think also just like with that being said, it's like I'm trying to think of an experience where I think also like we had a college group where your sister hosted it.
Yeah.
And that was literally just women together.
Just single women.
Just a single woman.
Venting it out.
Like, and it was such a safe space for all of us at different walks of life, at different times at life. Like, one person that had a lot of dating experience, one person, me, had none. I was currently going through like the talking phase that was like morphing into like me actually dating that person. So it was such a like safe place. We would just drink some wine, sit on the couch on the floor.
That was like one of the best groups, like small groups I've ever gone to, because like it wasn't necessarily like a college group.
No,
it kind of just morphed into a single women's college group, basically.
Yeah, no theme, no nothing. It was just like coming to a safe place, like safe place. I think with college groups period are just that it being safe is such an important factor. But it was going to a safe place. You knew that you could feel like no one was judging you. And like you could just talk about anything,
right?
And it was like you were met with like listening ears, advice if that's what you wanted.
Dude, the age range is what helps so much, because it's like here you could have like these 19, 18-year-old girls, but you also have like these 27-year-old girls.
Yes,
you know, and so like bringing them together in a room to be vulnerable with each other is just fantastic, because it's like there could be a girl that's going through like this current struggle, and then the other girl's like been there, done that, got you, you know. So just to be seen and heard for an hour or two, like every week, that just, it means something, especially for young women who are single.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I think that's why my sister's group just was such a success.
It thrived like no one's business. And also the fact that like the younger people still can give advice to the older people. It doesn't have to be one way. And I think that can be one of the cool things. That's the cool thing about college, period, is the fact that like, oh, she's 18. She can't give me advice. Yes, she can.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she can. I've gotten advice from middle schoolers. I was like, oh, geez, you don't make me want to cry. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. And I think that's the cool thing with the college age range is that, like, oh, she's already lived it. And like you were saying, like, she's lived it, done it. I can give you advice on that.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it before. And that's the cool thing.
Exactly. It's like, here's just a bunch of people who've, like, already healed from, like, your current hurt, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, and it's like, being... you know, in your 20s, you're going to go through a lot of, like, mishaps. You're going to go through, like, a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it's just trial and error. Right? Trial and error. And I'm just saying this at 22.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've had such cool experiences with college groups. And I think I enjoyed the privilege of getting to lead them and host, not even lead them, but host them. Because I was like, my house is open, y'all can just come over, I don't care. And my parents didn't care. They were like, just as long as y'all are considerate that we're sleeping. Yeah. And I was like, you got it. Anything for your parents. We sometimes had college groups that was us watching Twilight.
Twilight watch parties were
Twilight
the
watch
best.
parties,
because
those were good.
Sometimes no one would come, and those are the type of nights where like you try not to get butthurt over it. You just try to like think, and you're just like, we're in college, or if we're not in college, then we got work going on. Yep. We got something going on,
so you can't make it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We got other responsibilities, and sometimes you just can't hang out, and you're trying to save money and whatever, because sometimes our college groups turned into karaoke nights.
Heck yeah, they did. Because it was always the core three.
Yes.
Guaranteed. Which was me, Chloe, and our friend Ashton. Hi, Ashton.
Yes, you know that we're talking about you.
Yeah. But no, it was always the core three, so no matter what happened, we were hanging out with him. Because it was always you, because I would pick Chloe up, and then Ashton would always show up. So no matter what, there was people, and which would mean we would go to karaoke, which was always a fun time. That never got old. And then we would watch Twilight or watch some weird movie that Ashton would find. Like, that was those were like, well, there's no one here.
I remember one time where we actually sat and we watched like cheesy Christian animated films. Yes, and
oh man, that was good for my soul.
Goodness, yeah. The little aspiring filmmaker in me just like would rant, and then Zoe would be like, "These are my childhood."
Stupid, kind of cute. There was a few that were like childhood, and there was a few I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
like Jesus the fish, finding Jesus but not finding Nemo.
Yes, yeah.
Please fire.
Oh my gosh, the freaking YouTube video by Saber Spark on that is so funny. But
finding Jesus, leave Finding Nemo alone. Okay, like leave Nemo and Marlin alone. We don't need this. Like, oh my gosh, it was awful. I just sat there and cringed full body.
It was just really funny because, like, I've never actually seen an episode of VeggieTales. I don't know a song at all.
Oh gosh, Chloe.
I know that there's characters named Larry, but I can't tell you whether that's the tomato or the cucumber.
Cucumber.
Well, now I know.
Yeah. We had a night where we laid on my floor and we looked at the stars through my skylights.
Yeah.
And we just laid on the floor.
That was fun. Okay, see, that's the cool thing about college group, because at first when I started co-hosting with Zoe, I was kind of like on the fence about it, because when I went to youth group, that did not work out for me. I was like, I don't know, like, I didn't like the games. I wasn't like one of those kids that wanted to participate in that. I was more about like the Bible. And so I was like a total nerd. I'm still a theology buff today. And like, obviously, because I'm going to a private Christian university. But freaking, I wanted to just sit there and I wanted to nerd out about the Bible. And I wanted to talk about like all the crazy things that you can find in these verses and yada, 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 and how they connect back to this and whatever. I wanted to do that. I didn't want to play freaking like fetch just to get like a thing of Oreos, So youth group, I was not popular because I was like the nerdy type that kind of just like sat in the corner. But I got all the answers right to like who were the minor prophets, you know? Like, oh, so I was definitely not a favorite. Everyone thought I was like kind of a goodie, and kind of they were kind of right in a way. I just didn't vibe with it. But the thing about college group is like it's a mix of like both, where like we can get really nerdy about Jesus, but over games, like we can like, and also we can get like really deep and really vulnerable with each other, about like what we're currently going through, what's our walk with Jesus looking like right now, and that's the cool thing about college group, because it's like it's just a little more mature, and it's also like going back about what am I trying to say here? So going back to how we talked about college group meaning to be like a mixed bag of people. You sometimes got the kids from church who like didn't know where exactly they fit in because youth group was over. and they just graduated from high school, so they just needed like
Place to
community
go.
still.
Yeah, community.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of that go
Mhm.
on. We've had like new believers who just wanted to find a small group because they just found church.
Yeah.
Um,
We've had people from our work come.
we've had people from our work come,
And
and
like, ooh, the way the vibe, not in a bad way, the vibe shifted. The
yeah.
vibe shifted.
Oh my gosh, but those were like
Those were
really
good.
really funny.
Those are my favorites, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, those were like the best kind of nights.
Yeah.
Like one of them, should we get into
Oh,
it?
please. Please.
Oh my gosh.
Tell the people.
So it was April Fool's, right?
Victorious.
So this is when Zoe and I were working together at Roundtable.
That's a whole
in
other
town.
episode in itself.
Oh yes.
Oh,
We'll
Jesus.
have to. Yeah, but so it's April Fool's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scheduled,
I'm
so I'm
not.
working there. It's a dandy day so far.
Yeah, I'm at home, and I'm at home. It's not. I'm out of school already at this point.
Yeah. So I'm like going about my day. I'm like, handling cash or whatever, or serving pizza.
Doing your thing.
Yeah. It's a great chill Friday so far. But our shift lead and our manager,
yes,
one of our managers, they were kind of just like goofing off, and they were kind of having like a banter, going back and forth, whatever. They were like doing little mini pranks on each other.
It was clean, good fun.
Yeah. Nothing inappropriate.
No.
Nothing too serious.
Nothing too far.
Until it did get too serious, apparently. According to our manager.
Yeah.
Who was a total car dude.
Yeah. But like not the car dude who's like, oh, I like cars and like I work on cars. The toxic kind where the car is more important than his life.
Yes. Then, providing for his children and wife. But anyway,
yes.
So the shift lead decided, well, since he loves his car so much, I think I should do some prank on his car.
Yeah.
That will be really funny. No, reverse effect.
Yeah.
All he did was get window marker.
Yeah, car marker.
Yes,
window car marker.
But our manager comes storming back in from his break.
Blazing.
Oh, guns a-blazing.
That's the one.
Guns a-blazing.
Blazing and guns a-blazing.
Double and blaze. He made it sound like it was like done with like spray paint.
And Sharpie.
And it had a bunch of slurs across it.
None.
Like, I think the worst thing he probably put on that car was daddy.
Yeah.
That was like the worst thing. And that's not even really bad.
And ironically, the man is a father.
Yeah. So it's like, my wife's going to see this. Okay. And
you're the father of her children.
Yeah, I'm sure she's seen a lot of worse.
Oh,
a lot worse from you. Yeah. But anyway, so he comes in and he starts like banging things. He starts slamming things. He's like commanding, barking orders like left and right.
Being a piece of garbage.
I stand up to him like twice because I don't know when to shut up. So I'm like telling him like, okay, so am I making pizza or am I serving the pizza? Like,
what do you want from
me? What do you want from me? I can't do both.
No.
Like, I don't have 8 arms. That would be great, but I don't have that.
No.
And he actually got my face one of those times. So that was lovely.
Yeah, and that was awful. That day was awful for you.
No, it really was. And I was actually planning on like staying a little longer. But as soon as it was 6:00, I was like, okay, I'm clocking out.
Yeah.
Bye. But he actually left during his shift to go clean his car.
Rather than just waiting.
Right. But everyone who was working with me, it was literal hell for them.
Yeah.
Where like to the point where they were like calling Zoe and they were like, Zoe,
yes.
you need to come here because like this is so crazy. It's a madhouse.
Yeah.
Like and so Zoe was like, I don't know what's happening.
No. So I'm home. In my room. I think I'm also prepping for the college group of that night.
Yes.
So I'm like cleaning my kitchen, cleaning my living room, and I get a text from one of the girls that I'm working with. It's like, Zoe, what are you doing right now? And I was like, nothing. Why? And they're like, can you get to work right now? And I was like, yeah, is everything good? They're like, no, you need to get here. I was like, what am I gonna? First of all, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But they wanted me there, so I literally put a bra on and drove to work.
Yep.
And I get to work, and everything is just chaotic. Our manager's car isn't there, so I'm like, what's going on?
The pizza's like half baked because
he's not there.
He's threatening to beat up the shift lead, and he's telling us all to
beat him up.
To threaten him or let him know that like the manager's coming after him.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, this is not that deep.
No.
And so I'm in the back. I'm in I go in the back and I make it look like I'm looking to my locker. I'm not. Really not. Sorry to my manager if you're listening to this. I was totally not. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's happening? I get the whole lowdown of what is happening.
Everyone's filling Zoe in.
I mean, I'm surrounded. I'm in this little corner in between, like, the boxes and, like, the tomatoes and
not
the
even
phones.
supposed to be back there.
Not even supposed to be back there.
Because you're not on the clock, but you're still back there.
No. Surrounded by Chloe and one of our friends at the time. And then, like, 3 of our other friends at the time, too. Mm-hmm. Surrounded. I mean, 5 people, 6 people. And I'm just being surrounded. They're like, hey, so this is what's happening. He did this. I don't know when he's coming back. Can you answer phones? Because we are all confused of what to do. He left. He's at the car wash. He yelled at you. He told our friend to, like, wash his hands better because it wasn't clean enough. And was just like, oh, it's not, no, I'm not, it was just making excuses.
It was so bad.
And I was like, hey guys, like,
we were so backed up because it was also, like, starting to become, like, the dinner rush. And literally he only had one person on the line to make pizza. And so I was trying to help that person. And again, he yelled at me for doing that. And it's like, well, then what the heck? What, like, get it together. You're sending people home that don't need to go home right now.
No, it's not helpful.
Yeah. It was miserable. It was a miserable day. And so Zoe and I just decided, like, hey, do you want to come to
my house?
College group?
I was like, I'm having college group at my house if y'all want to come. Like,
and kind of just decompress from all of that.
Because you had come. We invited one of the other people from our work who had come. I can't speak English today. And he had come, and he had come before. So we already knew. The shift lead, he had come.
Yeah.
And so it made it really easy. And I was like, hey, that thing's happening again if you want to come. One of the girls texts me and goes, hey, what are you doing tonight? I was like, well, I have college group. You can come if you want. And it slowly was like, hey, I have college group to everyone. You can come if you want.
Yeah.
And literally the entire staff that was old enough, that had no parents that cared what they were doing, was at my house. And it fully shifted from, like, let's talk about life. It was like, okay, we need to all decompress.
It was just so
breathe.
Funny because, like, you know, we would sit there and someone would get done venting him, and all of a sudden another employee would, like, walk through Zoe's door, come in, grab a soda, crack it open, and be like, I cannot tell you about how terrible this day was.
I was like, oh, I can bet. She just told me.
Like, they literally would all walk in doing the same thing, and it was just so funny. It was a sitcom of a day, at the end of it.
And it was so funny because 4 other people that weren't from our work were there.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I don't like him either. That's awful. How dare they do that to you? Like, it was just like a support system of, like, that sucks. You do not deserve that. And it was really interesting because they all knew that me and Chloe were Christian.
Yeah.
Like, they were aware of it. They were aware that, like, we weren't the kind that were going to make you feel bad for, like, being not Christian or being anything like that we weren't or whatever. And so they already knew that going into it. They knew that obviously if this is a Christian thing that Zoe's doing, these people are too. And I hope from what I had heard from, like, later on that they were like, wow, your friends are really supportive. I was like, yeah, like, what happened to you guys was awful. And I was like, yeah, who cares what you believe or what you don't believe? That's not fair.
No, exactly.
To you. And I was like, I hope that you guys experienced, like, good people just being people, like, being good people to you. I gotta text my mommy. Hi, Mom. Yeah, it's the perk of having a laptop open. But no, it really is. I think college group I think the way that it transcends overarching all just walks of life is really cool if you allow it. It's the people who host it, the people that run it. It's up to you what it can become
to create that environment.
Exactly. If you're trying, and it's also like be upfront about what you're expecting in the college group. If you're like me and Chloe would be like, we don't even know what we're trying to do here. It's really up to you guys. What do you want? And not making it about you and completely making it about the people that you're hosting, that you're welcoming into your home, making it a place for them that's safe. I remember a friend came over who had only, like, experienced Christianity in his home and never had seen it elsewhere. So he had only seen it really toxically, where, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, it's bad, this is bad, this is bad. Came to my home, and I have, like, a bar, basically, in my house. And he goes, like, you guys drink alcohol? I'm like, yeah. Is your family not? He's like, no, my mom makes it, like, my mom thinks it's awful.
Mm.
And I was like, dude, like, you can drink alcohol. Like, Jesus drank wine, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it was only the safe drink that they could drink then because water wasn't clean. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, but they were drinking wine. They were drinking the Merlot of the day. They were drinking the Cabernet. No Rosé, no Sauvignon Blanc. But, like, you know, like, it's like, it's not, it's complicated. And it's complicated being a Christian who's more progressive also.
Mm.
And kind of I know for me, I'm slightly less evangelical also.
I'm all about the evangelism.
And so I'm more so where it's like, okay, like if I don't know, it's complicated. And so it's two different people who are running it with two different things.
Right, exactly.
But it also creates like you can still be a part of each other's lives, have important conversations.
Right.
You can still speak into each other's lives and come from all different places. And no one is lesser, no one is better. It's like you're just allowed to be.
Honestly, like that's the great thing about having two people who are very different in their own faith, like come together and partner up to host a college group.
Yeah.
Because it not only invited different breeds of Christians, like across all like denominations, but it also invited people who had no idea what Christianity was about.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with Jesus. And if they did, it wasn't a good experience with Jesus. And so it's like to just show them for just a night, you know, like we can make that night matter so much to them.
Yeah, because there was you and me. One of the girls who came was raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
We had a friend who was spiritual. It just like it was across the board.
Mm-hmm. And we have so many friends who are LGBTQ.
Yep. And it was just across the board. And I think what it hopefully showed was like breaking across, like, okay, who cares if you're this? Who cares if you're that? Whatever. It's like, we just kind of care about Jesus and we're just trying to live like Jesus.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, who cares what the title is above, like, your, like, walk with Jesus? If it's a Christian, Catholic.
Right.
If and you're a progressive Christian, an evangelical, like, you just care about Jesus.
No, exactly. And it's like,
that.
if you don't even care about Jesus, we can show you why we care.
If you still don't care after, okay, cool. You still want to hang? Awesome. Like,
you're still invited.
Yeah,
you know,
just
like,
because you're not a Christian, just because you don't care, doesn't mean you can't come.
No, exactly.
I was like, you've seen what we do on these Fridays. Like, you don't. The way that it shifts, it turns into Cards Against Humanity.
It turns into karaoke nights.
We play
many karaoke
apples
nights.
To apples if we're feeling wholesome.
Yeah.
We watch Twilight. It's like it just completely adapts to the people. It adapts to like the vibe. It's just it's basically just like a good fun party.
Yeah. And I mean, shoot, we've had online college group
because of Corona.
Yep.
We played games online. and even like with that being online, we still were having a relationship.
Oh, right. Like we still made an effort to make it work. You know,
it got a little toxic, and that's a whole episode. We have that in the notes already.
You know, the whole summer of 2020 was just a wreck.
It was a wreck. I was in a cult that I started on accident.
There were riots happening.
Happening in the streets. People were being weird.
There were rallies everywhere, every corner.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, that was a crazy summer for sure. I went on a Christian dating app.
That was that summer.
That was that summer.
Oh man, I like somebody.
I deleted my Twitter.
Ooh. Yes, you did. That was a good life choice.
Oh man, I have Twitter again, guys. By the way, don't go on it if you don't want to see a bunch of K-pop content, though. Okay. So,
you went on a Christian dating app.
Yeah,
I liked someone because they gave me attention, even though they were profoundly toxic. Yeah. It's just that whole year was very interesting, but I think that gave me and Chloe like I kind of like this college group thing.
No, for sure.
Because that was a very that's when we started becoming friends.
Dude, oh my gosh, that's when I had my Among Us Discord. Dude, and oh my gosh.
I met your cousins.
See, I'm telling you, I love when different people come together
You
in one
love
single
to do
group.
that. I
I
hate
love
it.
doing that. I love inviting different kinds of people and just having
I-
them sit together and like bond. It's so great because
It's my
I would have
scariest
my
place.
weird community college friends like meet up with my other online friends, and then I would get them to play with my cousins and then like my brother, and then I got Zoe to play. Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's
I
literally
don't
my
do that
favorite thing
well.
ever. I feel like it's heaven on earth.
I get so stressed out when it's different groups and when I'm in charge because I'm like, okay, I know all of you, none of you know each other.
Mhm.
Or it benefits me when one person also knows someone that was really helpful. Like my birthday
Dude.
party last year.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God you know her and you know her and she knows you. It's
Oh
just
my gosh.
you that I have to introduce to
the
her.
birthday party that you had in 2020, where like you did actually get your friends to mingle.
Yeah, I was
with like your Tehachapian friends.
Yeah, it was stressful.
That was great though because I got to meet Joy and I love Joy.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
No, it was great. It was freaking fantastic.
We ate that up too.
Yeah. No, but hosting a college group is super fun.
It is.
I definitely highly recommend that you should if you want to. If that's something that has ever crossed your mind, do it.
Go to one if you want to.
Go to one and just learn and just
get community.
Check out the vibes, man.
If they don't sit right with you, leave. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Have your parents call you so that you can leave.
Mom, I'm scared.
Dad, pick me up. I'm scared. Can I come clean the kitchen? Okay, I gotta go clean my kitchen. I gotta go. But yeah, we're really excited, and we hope you guys are excited that we're back together.
Woo woo!
See y'all for the next one.
Enjoy.